Welcome to AI News. Real people, ethical AI, and top-notch intellect. Unleash your intellectual spirit with artificial intelligence news.
Imagine a future where robots are the primary caregivers. Does this sound like a dystopian science fiction or a possible solution to an impending crisis? Picture this: a world where the shortage of quality, affordable, and accessible caregiving is filled in by our metallic friends. A world where technology steps in to fill the gap, not just for cleaning our floors, but for caring for our loved ones. Before you dismiss this as far-fetched, let's delve into the actual crisis we are facing. The caregiving crisis is not a distant problem, it's happening right now, and it's much more severe than we think. We're facing a three-pronged crisis in caregiving: access, affordability, and quality. Almost a third of US parents who need childcare struggle to find it. And when they do, it's often fraught with logistical nightmares that make balancing work and family life a Herculean task. The cost is another story. In 33 states, the average cost of full-time daycare for a single child under 4 exceeds that of in-state public college tuition. Quality doesn't necessarily come with this high price tag either. Only 11% of childcare across the US is accredited. The impact of these shortages is a staggering loss in parents' earnings, productivity, and revenue, estimated at $57 billion annually. This isn't just an American issue. Countries like China, South Korea, and Japan are also grappling with their own caregiving crises. Faced with long work hours, aging populations, and declining birth rates, these nations are turning to technology for solutions. They've begun testing the waters with caregiving robots, with Japan allocating a third of its government budget to developing these carebots. The caregiving crisis is a global problem, demanding innovative solutions. As the number of young people available to care for the burgeoning aging population dwindles, we're left with a pressing question. So what can be done to address this pressing issue? Enter caregiving robots. Robots as caregivers might sound like a leap, but given the demand and supply gap, they may just be good enough. Let's dig into it. Technologically, robots may not offer the same level of care as their human counterparts, but with the mounting demand and the scarcity of supply, they might just hit the mark. Already there's a surge in demand for consumer robots, not just your everyday Roomba, but caregiving robots are also seeing a significant rise in interest. An industry research firm predicts that the consumer robot market could skyrocket to a whopping $34.1 billion by 2022. That's a leap from a mere $3.8 billion in 2015. Countries like Japan are trailblazing the path towards embracing these caregiving technologies. With a third of their government budget allocated to developing carebots, they're set to become a leader in the robotic service sector. It's anticipated that by 2035, Japan's domestic industry for caregiving robots could grow to $3.8 billion. And at that point, a full third of Japan's population will be 65 or older. So, are robots really the answer to our caregiving crisis? Perhaps. Technological feasibility, increasing demand, and the potential economic value all point towards a future where robots might just save the day. Sure, there are challenges and concerns, but can we really afford to ignore this potential solution? As we consider the role of robots in caregiving, we must also consider the social, emotional, political, and ethical implications. This technology, while promising, isn't without its challenges. Imagine, for instance, a future where our elderly loved ones interact more with machines than with humans. While robots can provide physical care and assistance, they lack the emotional intelligence and empathy that human caregivers offer. This could lead to a society where our most vulnerable feel isolated and disconnected. Politically, the widespread use of robot caregivers could impact employment rates in the caregiving sector. This is a field often filled by low-income workers and immigrants. What happens to these individuals if their jobs are taken over by robots? Ethically, we must grapple with questions about privacy and consent. How much control should a robot have over an individual's personal care? What data is collected and who has access to it? These are just a few of the issues that could arise with the advent of robot caregivers. It's crucial that we address these concerns before this technology becomes commonplace. We must ensure that the introduction of robot caregivers improves the quality of care, without sacrificing the human touch that is so vital to this field. As we stand on the brink of this new era in caregiving, it's time to think deeply about what this means for our society.